What I'd like to do today is tell you more about my story selling insurance part-time to help you visualize how you can sell insurance part-time and be successful at it. My name is David Duford, owner of Duford Insurance Group. I train and recruit agents nationally to sell things like final expense, Medicare, and annuities, both face-to-face and over the phone. Most likely you're watching this video today because you're thinking about selling insurance part-time, but you wonder if it's even possible. And what I'm going to do in this video is give you my story of how I successfully sold insurance, specifically final expense insurance, part-time, not once, but twice. So let's jump back into the Wayback Machine and look at when I started this business to begin with. So first of all, I started in 2011 while I had a personal training gym amidst the Great Recession. My business was suffering. I needed to make money, and I stumbled across this little-known insurance niche called final expense insurance. And while I researched it and liked what I saw, I didn't want to drop my existing business, even though I wanted to get out of it and go full-time and make income elsewhere. So I started the business part-time. Now, a lot of agents said, no, there's no way you can sell part-time. You got to be fully committed. You have to have your entire time committed to this business to make it make sense. But I thought that was hogwash, so I kind of didn't listen to the naysayers and did it myself. It took me 6 months of selling part-time before I was convinced enough that I can make this a full-time endeavor, at which I shut down my insurance or shut down my gym and then went full-time into selling final expense life insurance. Now, I also said there was a second time where I got back into the business part-time, and that happened after I actually failed out of the business, which is a separate video altogether of how I failed the insurance business. I got back into the business a second time after getting a full-time job working in a uniform services business and needed extra income. And since I had experience selling final expense part-time prior to that, I knew at this point that I could make it work. So, and I did that part-time for 12 months before going full-time and then being completely full-time and never looking back ever since. So how did I successfully do part-time insurance sales? The main thing is that there's a couple of points here that I want you to make sure that you understand to make this something that is doable for you. So there's a couple of rules that I want to go over with. First one of which is you got to have, even though you have a part-time schedule, you have to have a full-time mentality. You see, this is the most important element if you want to have success in a part-time endeavor selling insurance. You can't take this business casually. You can't just go out there when you might have time. You have to treat it like a full-time business owner would. Well, how would a full-time business owner treat his business? Hopefully, he would treat it as extremely serious. He would go out and spend the time necessary to make the sales to get the kind of income that he wants. Likewise, this is how we should approach the part-time version of insurance sales. If you've got a full-time job, you've got to work during those hours that you're not at your full-time job. That also may mean you'll be you'll be spending time on the weekends selling or late nights. This is the only way, if you've got an existing full-time job, to squeeze in this type of business strategy so that you can make a success out of insurance sales on a part-time basis. Now, the second thing that we suggest that you do is you also pay your dues. So this is the kind of rough or tough point that you as a new agent are in. If you're starting this business part-time, you likely have a full-time profession, and you're going to have things in your life that are going to be pulling you away from doing the part-time business work. You have to learn how to say no to a lot of things that you would otherwise would love to say yes to long term. For example, I didn't spend any time at home with my family on Saturdays for years that I did the part-time work. And the reason why is because it was the only day I could go out full-time in the field and leverage sales for my leads. And the way I looked at it was I had to pay my dues up front to work hard in the times when nobody else wants to work in order to get to the ultimate goal where I am now, where I'm making a great income. I have a lot of freedom and flexibility, whereas I didn't have it prior. And guys, there's no way to get around this concept of paying the price to be successful. It's such a true point that all of us who are successful know is the case. You've got to pay the price to be successful. And that means you're going to have to sacrifice some things that you otherwise would give up. So be willing to do that. You're going to have to do that if you want to start a part-time insurance business and be successful. Number 3 is plan an exit strategy somewhere about 6 to 12 months out from the point in which you begin on a part-time basis. Now, when I say exit strategy, plan on going full-time in somewhere between 6 to 12 months. The factors that I would consider in going full-time is make sure that you've gotten good experience selling, you see that you're getting results, and that you feel comfortable that if you scale up your activity from a part to full-time basis selling insurance, that you will likewise scale your income as well. We obviously want to replace your income in most cases, and you want the confidence that you can do that. And somewhere between a 6 to 12 month period of time should give you that confidence that you can jump out of what you're doing from a part to a full-time basis and get rid of that job that you don't want to work anymore. The other aspect that you want to make sure of is that make sure you've got a big enough bankroll, and you should be able to establish this in the first 6 to 12 months. And again, if you're successful and you're consistently writing, my best advice to you is on a part-time basis to save every single dollar that you're making on a part-time basis during that 6 to 12 months. Make your bankroll as big as possible. One of the best predictors of success in this business is how much money you've got in the bank. And the more that you have in the bank before you get started, the safer and less risk that you have if you have a bad week, like every single agent does. So make sure that you're putting away your money in order to give yourself the best chance of success when you decide to go full-time. So just to kind of summarize here, this is my story on how I've been successful both times on a part-time basis selling insurance. And if you want to be successful too, again, the top 3 things that I recommend that you do is take this business seriously as if it were a full-time profession, even though you're on a part-time schedule. Make sure you understand the concept that you got to pay your dues if you're going to want to be successful at anything in life, especially this business. And plan your strategy to go full-time somewhere 6 to 12 months out where you have adequate income. Certainly save your money. That's my recommendation. So you have a nice fat bankroll to give yourself the best chances of success. My name is David DeFord, owner of DeFord Insurance Group. Hope you enjoyed this training. If you like this kind of stuff, subscribe, comment below. If you've got a question, I'm happy to answer it directly. Thumbs the video up if you like this stuff. And make sure to check out my agency if you'd like to work in it part-time. I do accept agents part and full-time, of course. You can click the links above and below to learn more. Thank you.